Hey feasters, and welcome to episode 136, and we've got a bit of a hard topic to talk about today. Do you drop that client? Ouch. Sucks for everyone, but it doesn't have to. Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Ask Rezzz podcast. I'm Jason, and I'm here to help you get past those bumps in the road, those struggles, those things that hold you back from building an amazing and profitable freelance business each and every single day. And this is always a tough question because it's sensitive. There's a big reputation factor on the line with both yourself and your client, and it should be something that really is a last resort. Right? You and your clients are running businesses, you are adults, and having difficult conversations such as this, it's going to happen. Here's my take on this. First and foremost, you have to deliver on what you said you would as best as you can. For me, that goes without saying, but I wanted to iterate it here just so that we can start framing this conversation. Rather than, hey, you did this and you did that. Well, let's talk about it, right? I'm trying my best here to salvage this relationship, and I don't want to drop you as a client, right? We've all faced these situations in our service business where, this question does rise and pops into our head sometimes, right? Especially when, a client doesn't pay on time all the time. The client all of a sudden goes dark and is non-responsive. Maybe the client didn't communicate all the things fully, and now you're kind of eating everything. Maybe there are unrealistic expectations. The scope continues to change. Or from your angle, maybe you want to move away from that type of service. It could be a number of ways or scenarios that makes this question pop into your head. But it's important to really look at it from the perspective of how did it get to this point, right? Who was responsible for what, and how did each party know that? What are the terms of the agreement that you signed on with this person? Why did it get to this point even, right? Having an objective look at the situation may highlight some things that can be solved and prevented in the future. Own your mistakes. I can't stress this enough. Even if your client doesn't own theirs, this is where the high road will always win out. The one thing that you want to do, as much as this conversation is going to suck, you have to reach out and set aside some time to have this difficult conversation with this client. We want to try to resolve the issue at hand. We don't want to just have this thing fester over time. Ending the relationship should be the last resort because depending on all the aspects of it, it could get very messy very fast. So instead, see if there could be some level of compromise met. You may have to give a little to get a little here, right? This is especially in the case of getting paid and timelines being met. If there's some terms that have been set or no terms at all signed in a contract that you are looking to change, compromise is key. However, if there is total fault on yourself or your client, then there needs to be some accountability there. If it's late payments, the way to handle late payments is to stop doing work until the payment is met, right? Explain that to your client. It could be just that they need to push their accounting department a little faster. This conversation is going to be hard from both ends, and you want to go into it with a full explanation of the issue. Dates, times, things that were said as far as inside of emails and Slack channels and things like that. You want all of these things gathered up so there are no stumbles or questions around the issue at hand. The final thing that I want to mention here is that it's imperative to not place blame and point fingers. Explain that there's an issue in the engagement and offer up some possible solutions with some hard guidelines. When you start placing blame, it lowers the professionalism of the relationship and yourself, and no one likes feeling like they're the kid in the playground being blamed for losing the ball. So when this question comes up the next time, because it will, think about the areas of responsibility. Set aside some time to talk and don't point fingers. See if dropping the relationship or ending the relationship altogether is the absolute last result. If you have a question, ask Rezzz. That's me by leaving me a tweet at Rezzz on Twitter or head on over to askrezzz.com and engage in the conversation there. Have a little chat bubble. I also have a way in which I can build you a customized playlist now that we're getting almost to that 150 episode mark. Till next time, it's your time to live in the feast.